Good morning and welcome. Happy Friday, Patriot Radio News Hour. It's the best day of the week. I hope this finds you well. The sun is out. Of course, it is the valley of the sun. The birds might be chirping. I don't know. I haven't gone outside since this morning. And it is a Fake News Friday. That's coming up in the next segment. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group for a long time. For 20-plus odd years, we've been right here rocking and firing, making sure you've got your assets protected. Gold and silver, it is what we do. 800-951-0592, the website at allamericangold.com. Keeping us all comfortably disturbed out there, or maybe it's going to disturb the comfortable. Either way, we've got you covered. And speaking of, getting you covered, I've been telling you now, I've been warning you about what was going to happen in regards to silver. Now, I know that, silver's up today. It's not up a ton, but it's up today. And you're like, wait, what are you talking about? Silver's been horrible. But for how much longer? The U.S. Mint has temporarily sold out of all of its 2018 Silver Eagle bullion coins and is currently in the process of producing more. This is to inform you that due to recent increased demand, the United States Mint has temporarily sold out of its inventory of 2018 Silver Eagle bullion coins. So here's what's happened. Just like I've been telling you, all of these back dates that we've had, all that back supply, gone. And that all of that supply, there was more demand than what the Mint had. You see what I'm saying? But we didn't know it because there are so many back dates. A lot of that demand was going to the back dates, and once the back dates dried up, I told you they're going to buy the 2018s, and the Mint was going to run out. And that's exactly what's happened today. We talked to the bullion bank. They're out. So as of right now, anyway, U.S. Silver Eagle sales, I'm going to put a moratorium. We're suspending sales today. I'm working on something. I am working on something that I think we're going to have this problem solved, I hope, on Monday. In the interim, we do still have dimes and quarters, rolls of dimes, rolls of quarters. The dimes are at $60. The quarters are at $120. It's still a better price per ounce than a Silver Eagle. I have dimes and quarters in Colorado. I only have dimes in Phoenix. So just, bear with me. If you want quarters in Phoenix, I'll make it happen. But if you want to help me out, silver rolls of silver dimes at 60. You get 50 dimes in a roll. Remember, we did the whole comparison with Venezuela where you needed 15 million Venezuelan Bolivar notes to buy an uncooked whole chicken. And I said that works out to about 2 silver dimes. So you get rolls of dimes at 60. You get 50 of those. The quarters got 40. So you get double the amount of silver, right? So it's 120. 2 rolls of dimes equals 1 roll of silver. The dimes are the $5 roll. Like if you were rolling your change today, I don't know that anyone rolls change anymore. Right? They all got that machine. People pay the extra 10%. What I wish I had thought of it. What a great idea. Hey, you know what? Give me all your change and let me keep 10% of it, and I'll do it for you. Brilliant. But, the dimes are $5 rolls, the quarter are $10 rolls. Same thing applies. So get your silver fixed. And here's this is what happens. They run out of Silver Eagles. Then what happens? Everyone buys the junk silver, then you're out of that. And again, the price is here, and when they're out, that means we're at rock bottom because that's what these guys do, right? They crash the price, and then they buy all the stuff. The Mint said in August they sold 1.53 million ounces. Volume was up 72%. And now the Mint, at least as of yesterday, has suspended Silver Eagle sales. And, of course, I've been warning you. I can't see the future, and I wish I could. I can't. but I usually get pretty close to it, and I'm able to put the pieces of the puzzle together, so to speak, and this was one of those you saw coming on silver today. By the way, silver, if you're looking, 14.21 right now. We got a mixed bag today. We got the jobs numbers out today. We're going to go over those, but we'll do that in the second half. I don't put it this way. They made a really big deal about a dime. Right, you go figure, right? We're talking about silver dimes. Today they made a big deal about a dime. I'll tell you about it. The numbers was a good number. They did revise June and July a lot. June and July, they whacked it by 50,000 jobs, so we had a lot less jobs in June and July to make this number, be okay. It was okay, but I'll give you all the details. We'll do that after halftime, after Fake News Friday, because I don't even know how many wins in a row I have over Jason, but he's vowing to be better. We'll see how that goes in the next segment. Again, our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. We haven't seen the Mint suspend Silver Eagle sales in a while. Yesterday they announced it due to increased demand. And again, really, I wonder how much the demand really was. They sold 1.5 million ounces. The backdates, there was millions of those, and they've just evaporated. By the way, Dow's down 120 points, and we'll get you up to speed. But Fake News Friday coming up next.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the others? Before I finish my song.
From news headquarters, this is
Fake
News
Friday.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
What is real? How do you define real?
Fake News Friday.
Fake.
I get so excited about that. I was clapping along. Fake News Friday. Double J, Ramon. Jason is with us. Jason, I've heard rumors. They're just rumors that I'm hearing that if you don't improve in your performance, that your wife, Brooke, is threatening to take over. That's just what I've heard.
Well, she did win when she appeared on the show.
Yeah,
so,
right. When we couldn't do it that one day, she was the champion. That's the last time your family has seen a W.
That's true. I did pretty badly last week, but I'm ready to go. I think have a different result.
Okay, all right. Now, for those of you that don't know, every Friday we do a little bit because everything's fake news now, right? Anything that happens that they don't like, they call it fake news. So we decided to play along, and every Friday we'll take stories that are out there on the internet, on the World Wide Web. And Ramon and Glenn actually helps, and Glenn's the one that puts it together. Ramon just reads the questions. No offense, Ramon.
How dare you?
I know. And they will change one of the stories into quote-unquote fake news, and Jason and I have to guess which one is fake, and I usually win. That was all. I just wanted to throw that in. Ramon, I'm ready. Jason, are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Story number 1. Red Sox player stands by pro-Second Amendment Instagram posts amid backlash. In 2013, Red Sox right fielder J.D. Martinez posted on Instagram an image of Hitler doing a Nazi salute alongside a quote that read, "To conquer a nation, first disarm its citizens." Then he said, "This is why I always stay strapped, #the truth." Now, Martinez is feeling the heat and because he expressed his opposition to gun control, but he is not backing down. He says, I stand by the Constitution and the Second Amendment. It's something that I take pride in, and it's something that I will back up. As most of you guys know, I'm a Cuban American, and most of my family was run out of Cuba because of a brutal dictator, Martinez said. It's terrible. It's one of those things where I'll never get to meet some of my family because of it. That is story number one.
By the way, killed it for the 3 months they had him for the Diamondbacks last year, and then, the rich club stole him from. I didn't steal him from. Paid him a huge amount of money.
Was he on the Diamondbacks? I didn't know that.
Yeah, last year he was a rental player.
Okay.
He made us the playoff push, which, boy, we could sure use him now. We're just collapsing here. Colorado could be headed to the playoffs.
All right. Story number two is noted astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, among others, have claimed that the world's first trillionaire will make their fortune in space minerals, all right? Space minerals. According to NASA, the minerals that lie in the belt of asteroids between Mars and Jupiter hold wealth equivalent to a staggering $100 billion for every person on Earth. There's a lack of legal clarity, though, of the ownership of space resources. That is story number two. Story number three is about, space again. Upcoming film about Neil Armstrong will not include the moment when the American flag was planted on the moon. First Man, which chronicles Armstrong's life from 61 to the moon landing in 1969. Ryan Gosling, who portrays Armstrong in the movie, told reporters the flag was omitted from the moon landing because the achievement of humans walking on the moon transcends countries and borders. Anyway, it's widely known that the moon landing was faked and produced in a movie set. So what's the difference? All right, okay, everybody calm down. All right, here we go. So, story number one, we have a baseball player, former Diamondback, posting Hitler pictures. Number two, we got space minerals and worth $100 billion per person on Earth. And number three, the moon landing movie coming up. So let's start with let's go to Jason first, shall we?
Oh, so this one seems pretty difficult to me. This one seems difficult. All three of these stories would catch me as being real if I didn't have any research. So I'm thinking of the baseball player story as being true. That sounds logical. There are still a few guys out there that are Second Amendment advocates. The second story, I think it's probably true, but I bet Glenn twisted this one and made something about it off. I'm going to guess the second one about going out, this trillionaire going out, billionaire going out and getting the resources from space. I think it's that one. The one about Neil Armstrong, I kind of believe trying to change history. That's what seems to be going on with watching my son doing history class and having the American flag not be planted on the moon. I can see them wanting to change that. So I think that's true. So I'm going to go with number two. I think number two is I think Glenn altered that one.
All right. Now, Joe.
You know, I hate when my logic and Jason's logic matches up.
Something's wrong.
I feel like I'm going to be wrong now. Because I agree. I think I love his explanation on number three, which if that is truly the real story, I could just see that. Right? Again, we should just apologize for everything, right? That's just kind of the whole liberal mindset of America's bad and we should apologize. So let's not put the flag on the moon. And then to Ramon's point, it was in his Hollywood studio anyway. J.D. Martinez, I have no idea. I just know who he is, and I would like to believe that is true. So I'm just basing on this one. I have limited knowledge of these stories, but I'm going to agree with Jason and say that, yes, I've heard these rumors that there's like all the gold and all this other stuff and all these comets and stuff. How we could actually mine them, nobody actually knows, but I don't know if maybe one or two guys could become super rich. I don't think the establishment would stand for all of us being rich. That's just unacceptable. So therefore, I'm going to go with number two.
All right, you also have number 2. Well, you are both wrong.
I knew it.
See? Go with your gut, and here's the thing. Just go with your gut, and whatever Jason says, go the other way.
Why? Why did I do this?
Actually, the fake story is number 3, the way that it was written. The quote about it being faked on a movie set, that was not part of his explanation.
Oh, I thought. See now, wait. I thought you threw that in.
No. This was as submitted, gentlemen, as submitted. I did not write it. All right.
I see. So I thought you ad-libbed that.
No. I'm not that swift. Glenn is the one who wrote this. So yes, it's one of those Glenn twists.
People that believe that's true, and therefore, ergo, I'm going to say on a technicality that I'm not wrong.
Okay, that's fair. You're the boss, so no problem.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, right away, sir. All right, here we go. I think we got time to get into this. Let's see, round number 2. Levi Strauss announced that it would be creating a new gun control group with billionaire Michael Bloomberg and donating millions of dollars to a collection of established gun control groups. The company said it would set up the Safer Tomorrow Fund, which Levi Strauss said it would direct more than $1 million over the next 4 years to, quote, fuel the work of nonprofits and youth activists who are working to end gun violence in America. The company went on to say that they would be doubling the amount matches for employees donating to gun control groups aligned with the fund, and pushed employees to use their 5 hours a month in paid volunteer time at gun control groups. That's story number 1. Story number 2. George Washington University Law School legal writing professor, now I think it's Iselin, Iselin Gambert, writes in a new research paper that milk is a symbol and tool of white dominance and superiority. It's tied closely to notions of purity, health, and femininity, and it's seen as so central to human civilization that our own galaxy, the Milky Way, was named after it. But despite milk's wholesome reputation, milk has long had a sinister side, being bound up with the exploitation of the human and non-human bodies it comes from, and being a symbol of tool for white dominance and superiority. And the word itself, the verb milk, means to exploit.
Milk was a bad choice.
All right, story number 3 is a flight from Dubai was heading to New York when dozens of passengers on the plane began feeling ill. The plane was quarantined in New York after it landed in JFK, with 10 people taken to the hospital. Port Authority police and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention were waiting and checked out the passengers when they arrived. One of the passengers, believe it or not, is rapper Vanilla Ice. He tweeted, so I landed from Dubai, and now there's like tons of ambulances and fire trucks and police all over the place. This is crazy. Word to your mother. Apparently, it's over 100 people were sick on the bottom floor, so I'm happy I'm up here on this double-decker plane. The passengers panicked when an open microphone in the cabin, the co-pilot mentioned, all right, now we know what we're up against. Every passenger on this plane had fish for dinner and will become violently ill in the next half hour. Okay, which story is the fake story?
Is it my turn?
Yes, let's
Joe go
I'm
first.
going to say that, first of all, I'm going to go with the last one because I believe the last little sentence there was actually the scene from the movie Airplane.
Interesting. Interesting.
So therefore, based on what you did to me the last question, I am going to say that is the fake story. And I just want to comment about Levi Strauss.
Go.
Why don't you work on actually selling your jeans and not bankrupting your company and moving all your jobs overseas and leave the Second Amendment to our founding fathers? That's the only comment I had. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, Brian and I on our show yesterday covered the Levi story, so I know that one's true. The second one sounds like somebody's imagination run wild, so I can kind of believe it in today's wacky world of ideas. And I agree with Joe. As soon as I heard the the fish. I remember the movie Airplane, so I think the third one also is the fake news story.
Well, gentlemen, you are correct.
All right. Now we know what we're up against. Every passenger on this plane will have fish for dinner. We'll become violently ill in the next half hour.
That shows you that we get most of our knowledge from movies from the 80s.
Listen, that just shows the overall intelligence of the three of us that we all instantly knew that was from the movie Airplane. Of course, I was saying, Burt Reynolds passed away the other day, and you talk about favorite movies. For me, definitely, Cannonball Run, Smokey and the Bandit.
Yep.
Right, The Longest Yard, right? All of these things that don't stress your brain at all were my favorites.
I honestly think he was the last of the big movie stars. That's it. After this, there's no tough guys anymore, really.
I actually liked the movie Deliverance. That was my favorite he was in. So a little different flavor, but I always liked survival movies like that one, and that was my favorite. The Dueling Banjos.
All right, that's it for Fake News Friday. It was a tie. So, Jason, I guess you get to survive another week before Brooke takes over. Ramon, thank you for your help. When we get back, we're going to break down that jobs report.
Eastbound and down, baby.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily commentary continuing the conservative pro-family legacy of Phyllis Schlafly. Now, the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
After more than a year of looking for collusion and not finding any, Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation should be winding down rather than winding up. But in July, in a sorely transparent attempt to disrupt the Trump-Putin summit, Mueller indicted the equivalent of 12 more nothing burgers. Elusive hackers supposedly entered the Democrat National Committee's computers and had no discernible impact on any election results. Mueller wasn't handed a blank check to investigate thousands of hackers. He was authorized to investigate alleged collusion by the Trump campaign, of which there is no evidence. Tens of millions of wasted taxpayer dollars later, there is still no such evidence. So far, Mueller has indicted 25 Russian individuals and 3 Russian companies on charges that Mueller knows he will never have to prove in a court of law. At one hearing, an attorney pointed out to the judge how one of the companies did not even exist at the time it was alleged to have done wrongdoing. Senator Rand Paul stands with President Trump in repeatedly criticizing Mueller's investigation as a witch hunt, pointing out that Trump's alleged nefarious ties with Russia are in fact a hoax. Senator Paul reinforced that it was a waste of time. Meanwhile, never-Trumpers came out of the woodwork once again to try to find fault with Trump. Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse declared from the floor of the Senate that everyone in this body should be disgusted by what happened in Helsinki. Senator Sasse himself has an abysmal approval rating in strongly conservative Nebraska, as never-Trumper Senator Jeff Flake has in Arizona. Retiring Congressman Trey Gowdy, a rising star until he opposed Trump, has apparently also fallen for Mueller's indictment stunts. Gowdy absurdly suggested that Trump should ask Putin where the 25 Russian hackers can be picked up. Gowdy has given Mueller more job security than anyone in D.C. by implicitly inviting him to spend years indicting more nothing burgers. The American taxpayer will be stuck with a tab of tens of millions of dollars.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report with Ed Martin, president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. And we think it's time to take Washington back from the power brokers. At phyllisschlafly.com, we're organizing a grassroots movement to stand against the deep state bureaucrats who control government. For the latest strategies, go to phyllisschlafly.com. That's phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening, and join us again next time for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
800-951-0592. Just a quick update. This has been one of those weeks now where we're starting to see the big divergence again between the paper price of gold and silver and the actual physical demand for it. And we see this happen, it's a regular thing where we see these paper prices and people start scratching their heads, and this makes no sense, and how can gold and silver be so cheap, if you will? And then all of a sudden, all the product disappears, and then we get this huge rally. I mean, it's like it happens every 2 or 3, and of course, and when you're talking about money, I'm not talking about the guys, our core customers, right? I'm doing 1,000, 5,000, 50,000, 100,000. That's not what I'm talking about. We're seeing millions and most likely billions of dollars came into the physical markets, and we saw it all summer long, right? And I kept telling you how these premiums kept good. They're moving back to where they historically had been, and all of a sudden started with silver, right? No more backdate. Right? And then I'd check, and every once in a while I'd have a case here or a case there, but no more backdate. Right? Then what was it, last week and a half ago? Maybe it was 2 weeks ago now. No Indians, right? No $10 and $5 Indians. Then yesterday we got there was no 20s, right? No 5 libs. Yesterday we ran those $10 libs. There was 100 of those out there. We're down to 30. We sold 70 of the 100 yesterday. I've got 30 left. $675. I've got enough for one person to buy 20 to get that $665 price on the $10 Liberty. So that's the gold piece, the older gold piece, the $10 lib. $675 on 1 through 19, 20 or more, $665. Please keep in mind, I only have 30. Silver Eagles, I'm not going to sell any. None, 0. I do have rolls of silver dimes and silver quarters. Colorado has both. I have both silver dimes and silver quarters in stock in Colorado. In Arizona, I only have the dimes. The dimes are 60. The quarters are 120. Last night, the Mint released a press statement saying that they have sold out of Silver Eagles temporarily. They're going to fire up the printing presses and stamp out more of them. My guess is sometime, maybe hopefully the end of next week or the week after, we'll be back in the 2018 business. I am working on a few things. I'm trying to get some. I almost had a deal done this morning. It didn't work out. I'll keep working on the Silver Eagles. But just so you know, the price per ounce can't beat what we're doing on the junk silver side. So rolls of dimes, 50 dimes in a row, silver dimes, pre-1965s. Those are at 60. The quarters are at 120. And listen, we told you earlier, the jobs report today came out, and they made a big deal about a dime. And they said average hourly earnings, the biggest increase in years, right? Remember, they keep saying, you're making more money, right? And most people I talk to really aren't. And if they are, they're doing what happened today. And, I mean, it was the big headline everywhere, talking about the long-awaited wage growth that is finally here. Yes, sir. The biggest increase of the entire economic recovery. Whoa! We're on fire. They said that the average hourly earnings rose 2.9% for the month on an annualized basis. Okay, and I put that in there. Well, I didn't put it in. The person actually that wrote the story did you a favor, because it's the most misleading number you've ever seen. But nonetheless, that's how the math worked. Non-farm payrolls grew at 201,000. And that was about the estimate. The estimate actually came down after the ADP report on Wednesday, but the estimate was 191, so we got 201. Hey, not bad. I'll take it. Unfortunately, they whacked 50,000 jobs from the prior 2 months. So if you didn't whack those jobs, then this number would have been about 150, and that was probably what most of us had been expecting. The unemployment rate did not fall. By the way, the invasion of the body snatchers happened again. The number of people not in the workforce, I don't know how this continues, but it does, shot up big. Now they're saying almost 1 million more people left the workforce. Now the number, over 96 million people not in the workforce. The number 692,000 people disappeared out of the workforce. 96.3 million people not in the workforce. By the way, they said the new average hourly earning, okay, this big, great number, the great wage, it's here, $27.16. By the way, the average hourly work week, unfortunately, still stuck at about 34. I'm going to round up, give them 34 hours. That's $583 a week, or a whopping $30,000. Okay, that's so sad, right? $30,000. By the way, you made an extra 10 cents. So I only went to public school. I know this, but I'm saying that the average hourly earning based on this was $27.06, and now it's $27.16. And if you did math, that would be a 0.00369% increase. And if you multiply it by 12, right, I only get up to 0.4, but somehow they said 2.9%. And again, because they do math differently, right? I mean, that's how I do math. I'm like, okay, well, if I got a 10-cent increase on a $27.06 starting point, I can do the math to figure out how much more money I actually made, and it's not 2.9%. But hey, what does it really matter? Congratulations on that 10 cents. Everybody made an extra $3.40. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. Because my wife tells me I'm horrible at it. Actually, everybody tells it. I tell myself, I know I suck at singing, but I got no more silver dollars. I mean, that's just how it is. They're gone. But don't worry, because the paper price of silver acts like nobody wants it. Yeah, guess again, right? And you have to be able to see what's real and what isn't. We live in a world today, and part of why we do the Fake News Friday, we poke fun. Some of the things, like what you heard from Levi's today, it's ridiculous. It's scary. And remember, I love J.D. Martinez talking about, what? My family couldn't defend themselves in Cuba. And now I don't have those family members, right? Venezuela, why is this guy still in power, right? People think about, why don't they get rid of that guy? Well, guess what? They have no guns. Mexico, why are the drug lords killing people by, I just read another story today. They found another 166 people in a mass grave. Why? Because they can't defend themselves. Yes, is it terrible that some mentally deranged people seemingly go off the rails and start shooting people? It is. Maybe we should figure out why that is. Why is it that all of a sudden nobody values life anymore in America? Maybe it's because the Federal Reserve and the government continue to lie to us every day and tell it like it's the truth. You're supposed to believe that you just made 3% more. You didn't get anywhere close to that number. That would have required you to get a 78 cents an hour raise, not 10, not a dime. And again, you have the breakdown of society in general, and this is what they want. They want to break down the borders, right? No countries, no this, no that. You got these NFL protesters. I still don't know why they're kneeling. I really don't. Yes, have some people been killed that should have? Absolutely. It happened. Is it much better than what it was 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago? Yeah. We're getting there. And you sit there and you think about all of the things that are happening. Like I see now, they're looking to try to impeach Donald Trump because he's not a nice guy. I don't get it. I truly don't get it, and it really doesn't matter. I leave that stuff to other people. It frustrates me, but just talking financially to you, nothing you have that is paper, not the money in your bank account, not the money in your 401k, not the money in your IRA, not the money in your mutual fund, not the money in your money market account, is yours. It's not. And you can sit there and try to say I'm lying or this, but I'm not. These are facts. Matter of fact, one of the big changes they made after the too big to fail was they made sure, hey, you know what? We kind of looked at the law we have here on these IRAs and 401ks and money markets and mutual funds and annuities and all that stuff. You know what? We got to make them tougher. There's a couple of loopholes there, right? Some of these guys could have got out. Can't have that. When the next downturn happens, and I don't know when it is it next year? Is it 2020? You can feel the top here, can't you? Right? When you're at what they say is full employment, right, that's a top. That's a top. You got to the top of the mountain, and then there's only one way to go from there, right? It's the other way. I mean, it's just logical. Now we're seeing the inflation, again, that they lie about. Trying to pretend you made 2.9% on a dime. No, you didn't. And now you're sitting there, and of course, everything, think of what they've done. Right? Got everything electronicized, right? Nobody writes a check. When's the last time you saw someone write a check at a supermarket? And when you do, you're immediately upset. Right? Who writes a check anymore, right? And everything's convenience. You got the mega banks now. Is it any wonder? When did all of a sudden you had to pay $5 for using the wrong ATM? Oh, yeah, right, when we just had nothing but mega banks anymore, right, because they knew they could fleece us. Remember when you used to open an account, they'd give you a toaster or a blender or something like that because they knew, hey, you know what, this money's not yours anymore, and we're going to make a bunch of money loaning it out. Least we can do is kick you a toaster. Right? That's gone. Now you open up your account, and the first thing they're doing is telling you how much your fees are going to be. And then they make you believe that you are some kind of moron if you don't have a 401k. And remember what they took from us to give us this wonderful program. Right? This wonderful program, the 401k. Listen, that did not exist until the 80s. What did we give away to get this great program? Oh, that's right. We gave away our pensions for it. Yeah, the ones that were, hey, you know what? They pay all of my health care, they pay all my stuff, and I get a check every month till I'm dead. Gone. It was such a great deal for these companies that they said, we're ripping you off so bad. Out of the kindness of our hearts, we're going to match some of the money you put in there. Yeah, thanks a lot. Friends like that, you don't need enemies. Patriot Radio News Hour. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Final show of the week. The last few minutes. U.S. $10 Liberty gold pieces. These are the old ones, 1866 to 1907. Back when the currency was backed with gold. Right? Back before it was fiat money. And you think about, all of a sudden, how did $10 turn into $675? Right? Think about it. Right? In another 100 years, $10 is going to turn into what? 10,000? Who knows? Right? They're printing money like crazy. By the way, the national debt clock just jumped another almost $15 billion overnight. So I don't know what paid for something. U.S. $10 Liberty, $675. I think there's still enough to do one person can buy 20 at $665, but that's it. Volume discount if you buy 20, $665. If you joined us late, the U.S. Mint has announced that they have sold out of Silver Eagles temporarily. They are making more. The bullion banks have none. If you're looking for silver today, rolls of silver, dimes, pre-1965 silver dimes, $5 face value silver dimes at $60. In Colorado, we have dimes and quarters in Colorado. If you want to roll of quarters there, $120 on the quarters. The dimes are at $60. I'm going to try my best. Hopefully something over the weekend will materialize and we can get back into the Silver Eagle business Monday or Tuesday. If not, the Mint's making more. Well, it'll be a week or two, but they'll be back. But you know what happens, right? Premiums rise. That's just what happens. On the gold side, same things happening. $20 libs, $20 cents, gone. $10 Indians, $5 Indians, gone. $5 libs, gone. Right? Again, this is just how much money is flowing into the physical market. And again, I love our customers, and we do a good business. It's not us, right? It's big money that's been flowing in. By the way, President Trump has now said that he could put tariffs on another $267 billion in Chinese goods if he wants to. He says that they are ready to go. This will come on top of the $200 billion in goods already targeted. So now, okay, this thing keeps getting bigger. By the way, he wasn't just talking to China. He let Japan know, you're next. So, hey, this is what it's going to take. The Dow does not. You know what's funny today? They've been really positive about the trade war stuff. Anytime the president announces any type of measure, usually the Dow rallies. Today it's actually went the other way. Dow's down over 150 points. I've got the feeling that the first $50 billion or so was kind of like the icing on the cake, and so they weren't going to make a big deal about it. But now we're starting to talk about hundreds of billions of dollars of stuff, and that just may be a little more than Wall Street is looking for. So Dow's down today. Silver's the only thing, weird. Silver's the one thing that's up today. Gold's down a couple bucks. Gold's at $1,197. Silver's right now at $14.15. 800-951-0592. Make that call. Put some stuff away before the weekend. And you know what? Go out and have a great weekend. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back on Monday.